and then also getting a legal update. So I just wanted to add to that.
Chairman?
Councilwoman Brandon.
So, a couple of things there. I mean, if we're indeed in litigation, so we should have council people up here talking about, the complaining about things again, which I've said all along that shouldn't be happening with current vendor, number one. Number two, I think some of the council members get the information beforehand, and I do not. So I don't appreciate getting it at 4 o'clock and then have to vote on something. And had whatever happened today, I would have been looking at a contract as fast as I can and comparing it to other contracts and RFQs and everything, in an hour or half an hour, So I don't understand, and that is our job to look at it. So, and having some people be okay with that makes me believe that you already had it or you already knew about it. I heard through the grapevine that it was going to be someone else. I wasn't told up here. I wasn't told by Mr. Plato. I wasn't told as a council person, so I might as well be sitting in the audience because that's where I'm getting my information. I'm not getting it from the administration. I'm not getting it from the corporation council. And as far as the RFQ process, I think it was totally done wrong since we're up here telling everybody how things are going. That it was done by a council person and shared with the corporation council and a couple other members who thought that it was okay and presented, which is totally out of the ordinary since that I have ever been here. So to say that this is normal or usual, a couple of things I would like to point out too is that we pay, as residents, we pay zero for our towing contract. We pay zero out of the city's funds. So when we're talking about residents that complain about their bill or whatever, I don't want to pay for everybody's towing. I don't want to pay for a person in Allen Park's accident. I don't want to pay for those things, and I don't think our residents should either. So when you change contracts, you should make sure that it's at least as good as the last one and that you're getting the same things or something similar instead of adding it right onto your budget and then the residents have to pay for it. I mean, eggs are like outrageous right now. Do I want to pay? We're a thoroughfare. Do I want to pay for everyone's accident that happens in the city of Taylor? And this process, which I had learned going through this process, is the remediation process is relatively new. So, if you hire a company that doesn't have that, then who's going to get stuck with that bill when 2 semis crash? Are we going to have to pay that giant bill? I think it should be the towing company. If they're reaping the benefits from all these other things. I'm not done, Mr. Johnson, yet.
I know, I'm just letting him know.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
And so I don't want to pay for all that, and I don't think that we should. And it's if you can't pay the bill, that's going to go right on our taxes. So if we run out of money to pay these kinds of things, so I think that that this should be done totally in a different way than it has been done. I didn't from the beginning. There was, we had talked about it and we were working towards it, and all of a sudden the rug was pulled right out, and one council person is going to submit their own, after talking to prospective people. Some of the issues that we talked about, like, is there a background check? Is there a criminal background check? I didn't even get a chance to read it yet, but is that still in there? Because I sure like I would like for it to be. So I think that the problem that I'm having is that I'm not getting the information. I'm not getting the information to vote on. I think that there is more. I mean, I come to the meetings and we have like a little cheering section of, oh no, it's not today, it's tomorrow, it's next week, it's this, I didn't know something is on, but not only did some council people know, they had their own cheering section here for it. So, and that's happened almost every meeting that is brought up. It gets sent away and brought back and sent away and brought back. So there's something that doesn't pass the smell test to me here. I know that I was here in 2007, okay, when we did this, and it took months and people came up and they were vetted and they talked to us about it. And it was a really big process, and a lot of the same players are here, coming forward again. And so it took a while, and we were all told about it, and it was a hard decision then. And 4 people came together that didn't always get along, if you recall, during that time, but they came together for this because it was the best choice. And I think that our current vendor has state-of-the-art facility, and if anybody on council would take a minute to go look, which I've invited, people that, let's go over here, let's take a look at it. Nobody wants to go. But they're gonna meet with other people and not even see what's going on. So I don't think that, I think there's something more going on to this than meets the eye.
Madam,
So I just-
Councilwoman, because you made a couple assertions, and I'm going to correct the record.
No, you're not.
I'm going to correct.
No, you're not.
I'm going
You
to.
are not my subordinate. I'm not your subordinate. You're not. You're the chairman of the council.
What I'm
You're
stating
not my boss.
is that this was put on the agenda as I was going on vacation to make certain that we knew that the plan was to go into closed-door session to discuss all of these things.
When you went on vacation, when?
Last week.
This was put on,
Motion to approve going into closed-door session to discuss a memorandum of the Corporation Council regarding the city towing contract. There was a proposal to change item 6.3, but on the agenda, I made certain, and what I had committed to the people and to this council is that we would be discussing the current status in this meeting. So that was not nefarious. It was done in full transparency. I wanted to make certain that we all had the opportunity in a proper legal forum to discuss it. Number 2, the information was shared at the exact same time with every single council person yesterday at 5 o'clock. So I will take exception when you start to say that things are being done nefarious or being done in a shady fashion. That's a very strong assertion, Councilwoman.
stand by it.
Well, then you are absolutely completely
How
false,
did
and the
you know?
record shows.
how did you know about this? Were you fully vetted on this before? you
No,
got
I
it?
asked.
This is your first time learning about it too, Chairman, guys. Just tell me that. Today, at this meeting, is the first time.
That I
you've
knew that there was
discussed-
an injunction at 4 o'clock tonight.
No, that you've discussed the litigation and all the ramifications, and
We all had the information at the exact same time. If you want to pull a FOIA, go right ahead.
Chairman.
But you have received the information at the exact same time that I did, and I wanted to have this on the agenda so that we had this discussion tonight at the exact same time. But you instead had put your head in the sand to say that la 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 la, I don't want to hear about it.
absolutely not. Don't talk to me like that.
I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I
No,
just
you
did.
can't. And then I can talk like that to you then.
All right.
You're gonna break all the rules.
I'm not breaking all the rules. When you making assertions that things are being
You're
done.
telling me you can vote on a contract in an hour? You can read a
To the
contract and
chair,
vote on
to the
it?
chair.
Councilman Johnson.
That is
So-
untrue.
I didn't receive this till I got into the office today, because I don't get things on my email. I come into the office to do that. My plan was to go into the closed doors, hear what's going on, because things changed from the time I got here at 3 o'clock to look at things till 4 o'clock when another court date was done, or somewhere in that area. So I wanted to learn about all that, and I was gonna make a motion that we postpone it till next meeting so we could have 2 weeks to look at it all, because I haven't seen it. It's right here. I didn't even print it. This was printed for me. It was sitting out here.
And-
So I didn't receive any of it
And Chair,
until
if I could-
today.
Chairman,
Mr. Plato.
To the chair, just with regard to Councilwoman Brandana's statement that other council people seem to be receiving things ahead of time, I can assure her that no council person has received anything from the Corporation Counsel's office in advance of what you have received. All council members receive things from my office at the same time. Nothing is shared with some and not with others. It's always shared with the board as a whole.
And again, before I recognize you, I want to be absolutely certain on what was on the agenda for today. It was only to go, motion to go into closed-door session to discuss a memorandum of the Corporation Council regarding the city towing contract. So I did want to make certain that we had that on, that the discussion all occurred and we all heard it at the exact same time.
Chairman, when was the memorandum written? You put this on Friday. When was it written? It was written today. But you didn't know about it on Friday.
No, I wanted to have it on the discussion for today. I pushed to make certain that we had an update. That's it. I pushed. I wanted us to have this discussion.
But you knew about a memorandum that didn't.
No, I put on the agenda that I wanted to have the discussion with our corporation counsel. That's it.
Chairman,
Councilwoman.
so my understanding when we got the original agenda, like going into closed door to discuss the towing contract, to me is different to going into closed doors to discuss pending litigation. So my question is, when the current pending litigation, when was that filed with the city? When was that filed? The area towing pending litigation?
Leave that, Mr.
I'm
Plato.
not sure what question you're asking.
The pending litigation that we tried to change the motion for to go into closed doors to discuss, when was that served on the city, or when was that started? When was it filed?
Well, the lawsuit was filed, I think, back in August.
In August of this year?
Yes.
Was that shared with council? Was council made privy to any of that, or given any of the documentation to read through in order to go into closed doors to discuss it?
Well, the summons and complaint and the pleadings that are filed are not usually shared with the council.
But-
They're shared with risk management.
Chairman, but I have, as a council person, I have stated several times and asked you several times that if we are going to have things that are provided in regards to litigation, I want to see that, because if I'm going to end up voting on something or voting to go into closed doors to discuss something, I want to be able to read it so I know what I'm going into closed doors to discuss. I don't want to get something the day of or 10 o'clock the night before to go into a closed door or find out that it's changed and now we're going to discuss something else when I've been provided absolutely no documentation to go into closed doors to discuss what we're going into closed doors to discuss. I mean, that's not really a
The
discussion.
litigation, hold on, the litigation information was sent out when it was filed. Because
I never received it.
Well, lack of saying that you received it versus, the FOIA request would show when we all received that information. Because it was a very lengthy lawsuit against the city of Taylor.
The one that was just currently from August, did anybody else on council receive that? Because I didn't receive it.
I believe I got it.
Councilman Johnson?
Through the chair, to the corp counsel, when was the latest litigation on this today? What time today?
The latest hearing was about 3 o'clock or 3:50.